Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I'm happy today. Today I'm happy because we'll speak about Locatelli, but I want to introduce the topic Locatelli and De Zerbi and Brighton and Juventus and loyalty and contract extension. Well, yesterday you know it. We made a video on the channel that was important. Why? Because we were speaking about the future of Juventus. You are all aware now as we speak that yesterday there was that CDA meeting, the members of the board that were sitting together to review and approve the financial books of 22-23. At the moment, I can't give you too much details about it. Why? Because that meeting has been postponed until the early days of October, and from that moment on, of course, we do a new video with the new details. But that video was important because I told you that from the moment that we had clarity, what were the possible way to come back on a healthy financial situation. That today that you like it, that you don't like it, is crucial and important. Why? Because if you are not financially stable, you can't compete. As easy as that. You have, of course, that sporting side that is a consequence in 2023 from the business side, because it is like that. Today in 2023, clubs are also, if not fundamentally, companies. You know it. In the past, the sporting result were influencing your finances. Today is maybe a bit opposite. It's your finances that often, not always, but often are influencing your sporting result. Look at your competitors, Saudi Arabia, new market, but also the Premier League entries and what they have in their bank. It's impossible to compete. So yesterday we spoke about it, but I also told you a few ways to be able to come back on a financial healthy situation. Because that era, spending 100 million euro for Cristiano Ronaldo, in the value in what we signed him, but also giving him 100 million euro salary is over. Pipita Higuain going as princes, kings of Italy, and paying that salary close of 90 million euro is over. It's not a coincidence if today we were able only to sign Timo Weah, because we pay attention, and that's one of the ways to come back, to make some savings. We were, and we are, in a difficult situation financially, so we have to pay attention. We have to be responsible on what we are doing. And having only Timo Weah on a cheap was the only possibility that we had at that moment. We knew that we had to do a lot on the exit market, selling, loaning out some players for different reasons. Another way to arrive it, of course, is to continue to invest in your youth, which Juventus is doing. Why? You know the consequences. You develop them even more. You let them grow. You let them arrive in your first team where you don't have to sign a new player because they are ready, more or less, but they also are there with a really cheap salary. And if they want to earn more, well, they will have to do it through performances on the field. Performances are better, sporting results are better, and they continue to grow, and then we start to think about renewals with a possible salary increase. And that's where I want to go, because in the last few weeks, days, you heard a lot about renewals of contracts from the players that are already at Juve. The one that you understand really fast is some players that are out of reality salary for that Juventus we are in. A Szczesny that probably has a correct salary if you are thinking about other leagues, but in that Juventus of today is probably earning too much. Well, extending contract, you still have a top players that you are paying less. Fantastic. Not only him, because you also heard about Adrien Rabiot, multiple years contract offer, a bit lower, because you know with Decrete Crescita, etc., etc. Vlahovic, that is doing fantastic, beautiful performances in that beginning of the season after not being sold to Chelsea, because at a certain moment, I don't know if it's true or not, but it collapsed. Vlahovic is there for the joy of the tifosi, but it's a reality that the contract that was made for what was the phenomenon of Serie A 2 years ago, it's probably too big, too much. So if we can renew and lower his salary, can be a good one. But then there is something that you will tell me, Beppe, but this is not correct. This is not, I don't understand it. Because we are speaking about sustainability, keyword of Juventus financial books. We are speaking about savings. We are speaking about this not being able to mercato. And then we speak about a lot of players where we can possibly sit around the table to extend their contract, increasing their salary. Federico Gatti and Federico Chiesa are two examples from that. Some young players increasing their salary. We already did with some youth. Kenan Yildiz, Haisa, and so on and so on. What is the logic in that way? Well, it's quite easy. It's called depreciation, because when you sign a player, you pay a value, maybe 100 million euro, 4-year contract in your books. You depreciate it 25 million euro per year. You spread it over the years of contract, okay? If you extend the player, the good news is that you keep the same value, but you spread it over more years, which is super interesting for a club because the cost that you have for one single player will be lower per year. And that's a fantastic news financially. It's not a new thing. It's something that exists in years and years and years, okay? And that's why you can allow yourself to increase a bit the salary of a player, where in total value and salary you will still pay less per year. Federico Gatti, that is earning 1 million per year, which will absolutely not be a problem. Even Federico Chiesa can be increased, because we know it, he has at the moment not a top max salary. And if you want to keep a Chiesa like the one that we started in the beginning of the season, coming back from an injury, you have to do an effort. Important is that in total, you're able to pay less than what you were paying. And you have all that financial talk after nearly 6 minutes to arrive to the topic that I wanted to speak, Manu Locatelli, because that's the news that made me happy today. Manu Locatelli in talks to renew his contract until 2027. And for this time, for this player, for that person, I want to put aside all the financial talks. I don't know if we will increase the salary offer, decrease the salary that is not even that high. I believe he's earning 3.5 per season net. But I'm happy for the player and the values that he's bringing. Yes, financially, it's great because depreciation, 1 more year. But I am lucky. I told you, I am super lucky. And I'm aware of the luck I have to interview some player. And if I appreciated every single interview with every single player, because they are totally different between each other, I can tell you that Manu Locatelli, that I was already defending, that I was already appreciating, that I wanted so much from Sassuolo, is a player that after that interview I appreciated even more for the human values of the Italian 25 years old ex-Sassuolo, ex-Milan player. Because he showed me, and I could see it in his eyes, I could hear it about how he was speaking before the live, during the live, about how much he loved the Bianconeri, how much he wanted to join Juventus, how much he was also following social media to understand if Cherubini finally found a deal with Carnevali. He wanted to join. He told me live that it was stressful that period because he really wanted to join also to make his grandmother, La Nonna, happy, that is a Juventina. So seeing that Locatelli could possibly stay 1 more year, it's just fantastic. Because if we are in an era where we are missing leaders, missing examples, missing DNA of a club, we don't have bandiere anymore. What is a bandiere? Una bandiera. It's a Totti, it's a Del Piero, it's a Paolo Maldini, these players that are remaining forever and ever in your club, that are the icons, the symbols, the one that you will never be cheated on by, because these players, they are your club. You feel them. Well, less and less we have these kind of players in today's era. And when they leave, a lot of time they are called mercenaries. Look at the Quadrado. After 8 seasons at Juve, he goes to Inter. Well, in an era where everything can go so fast and when a lot of time that romantic part of football is go away, having a player like Locatelli that wants to stay at Juve is fantastic. Especially because he said no to Brighton. They will tell me, Pepe, what are you speaking about? Well, De Zerbi is his spiritual father. It's a totally different coach than Max Allegri, but it's the spiritual father of Locatelli, that in the last season at Milan had a lot of difficulties, was not able to show his level. Gattuso put him out of the team. He didn't want him anymore. He was on the market. He was totally lost. And De Zerbi guided him, coached him, was next to him to make him again the player that Juventus at a certain moment wanted to sign. Because he explained him, he showed him, he gave him again a lot of self-confidence. And Locatelli said no to De Zerbi. I don't join Brighton. You will tell me, Beppe, were there some talks? Yes, there were. Even De Zerbi, a few weeks ago in La Gazzetta dello Sport, said, there are players that I love. And there is a player that I would always want next to me, and this Manu Locatelli that has an immense potential that I love, I want to have in my team. Locatelli said no to Brighton. I don't want to join. Could have been super easy because still today, Juventini are divided between the ones that are believing in him. I am that one. People are thinking that he's underrated. People are thinking that he's overrated. And then you have the people that are saying he already showed what he had in him. Sometimes you see some peaks, sometimes you see some lows, not more than that, okay? Well, the player said, no, I stay at Juve. Without European competition, in a difficult moment, we are not favorite to win the Scudetto. Manuel Locatelli said, I don't join Premier League, the best league in the world today. I don't go there to earn more money because he could easily increase his salary going to Premier League. He said no to everything. I stay at Juve and I will show that I deserve to wear the shirt of my childhood, the shirt that I was loving, am loving. Even in a difficult moment, I want to show me your hand, I want to give you my hand and support the old lady. Ragazzi, you can speak about whatever you want to, but sometimes these beautiful stories, we are missing them. Romantic stories in a football that is less and less and less romantic, but more and more and more business. Locatelli, I close the chapter. I just want to speak about something because I saw a comment that I didn't appreciate a lot. Without feeling, naughty or I'm not angry, just a comment that I didn't appreciate yesterday on the channel. Because yesterday, out of nowhere, I was even late, I decided to do a watch-along on the channel. Dortmund against Paris Saint-Germain in Le Parc des Princes. I did a watch-along here. Was it a fantastic live? No. Was it announced? No. Was it, I was not prepared. I didn't know the background story. I didn't study the game before doing that watch-along. I was a bit in difficulty. The game on himself was a bit boring. But I enjoyed being there with a small community. And we were 45, 50, 55 at a certain moment. That I think that was the peak. But I really enjoy the community that we are. Speaking also about other games. We also spoke about the next gen that unfortunately yesterday lost. And this morning, what I read, or yesterday night before sleeping, I read the comment of Dave Cobra. Dave Cobra, that is writing, this has nothing to do with Juve, keep it Juve only. So you know, on the channel you can write whatever you want, if it's respectful. You can give me your opinion about something that you like, you don't like. You can tell me, Web, I agree with you on that, I don't agree with that. You have two buttons at disposal, the like button, the dislike button. You are free to put a like or not. You are free to put a dislike or not. When you see that I'm live or there is a video, you are your master of your life. You can decide if you click on the video or not, if you want to watch it or not, if you want to subscribe or you don't want to subscribe, if you want to unsubscribe. You can do whatever you want. This is your right. But on my channel, ragazzi, you can't tell me what I'm obliged to do or not with that arrogance. You can't tell me, obliging me, writing, keep it Juve only. Who are you? I don't know who you are to tell me these kind of things. It is my channel and I do it the way I want. Why was I speaking about Champions League yesterday? First of all, because Juventus is not playing Champions League, because I was alone in front of the television before starting. I said, you know what, I will do it with my boys, with the community, with the guys together, because I will feel less alone. And I'm doing it out of passion, because before becoming a Juventino, you start loving football. And from that moment on, because of stories with your father, with your family, with your friends, with the shirt that you are liking, you become a Juventino, an Interista, a Milanista, a fan from Manchester City, wherever, whatever you want to. But the first thing is that passion you have for that ball that is rolling, for a goal. Yesterday, and you know it, I'm not a big fan of Italian teams in Europe, especially with last year, because we had to be there and not other teams. Well, you see a Lazio that I wanted to lose. But at the end, at the 95th minute, you have Provedel that is scoring that goal with a header, equalizing. Well, for that moment on, only if you are not an Atletico Madrid fan, we all put aside the team that you are supporting and we are just becoming kids again. Passionate, loving that historical moment, because it's a historical moment that you are living in that moment. That not a lot of things can give you that moment of smile, of joy, of happiness, even if it's for a single second. In a world that is more and more gray, more and more with difficulties, with natural disasters, with so on and so on and so on. That's why I'm doing the channel. Because I'm passionate, because I love, because I never want to forget the moment that makes me live. And yes, I did, and I called the channel GJustjuve. But I love speaking about football. And if there is at that moment no Juve, I want to be able, when I want to, in the normal percentages, to dedicate time to football, to what make me happy, to what make me, again, living that passion of football. Yes, that it was a boring game, it was a boring game. But I love to do it. Ragazzi, when I opened the pack, when I bought that shirt, he arrived home, I was super happy. Again, it's a shirt. I have millions of shirts, from football, from not football, but I open it, I see the J on it, I see that it's something related to football, I'm happy. I don't want to lose it. So ragazzi, if you want to tell me, keep it Juve only, if you want to tell me, Beppe, no, I don't appreciate it. I really don't appreciate it. Maybe I'm ranting too much. It's a single case, but no. You know it. I opened a channel that is called GJustjuve, and I will stick to Juve because that's the fundamental, but I believe that I'm offering enough content about Juve. Last entry, Romeo Agresti, once a week here on the channel. I'm doing watch-alongs, I'm doing post-games live, I'm doing videos every single morning that I'm editing and taking time to do it. Ragazzi, if I can't speak about something that make me happy on the channel, then we are not there. Anyway, that was my rant. I will try to do another video in the afternoon if I have time to speak about maybe the Champions League, because I want to. Maybe I want to speak about Federico Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic and the way of playing also with the wingers. Can be an important, a bit more tactical video, a bit less rant. Grazie ragazzi, put a maximum of like, grazie, forza, Juve.